Have you ever had that feeling where you really want to learn something new, but you just have no idea where to even begin? Well, today, we're going to tackle that head on. We're breaking down the art of effective self-learning. Think of it like an adventure, and we're here to give you the map. So you've got that spark, right? That little itch to learn an instrument, or maybe a new language, or finally figure out how coding actually works. You're ready for something new, ready to grow? But then, boom, you hit that wall of overwhelm. The internet is just this massive, endless sea of information. Where do you start? It's a super common feeling, and it's exactly what we're here to solve. First things first, let's change how we even think about this. Self-learning isn't some boring chore you have to do. Honestly, in the world we live in today, it is a genuine superpower. The magic words right there are personal initiative. This is all about you grabbing the steering wheel of your own education. You decide where you're going, you set the speed, you are totally in control. And that is incredibly empowering. Okay, so every great adventure needs a map. I mean, without a clear destination, you're pretty much just wandering around, right? In the world of self-learning, your map is made of clear, really well-defined goals. And the compass that's going to guide you on this journey is something called the SMART Goals framework. Now, don't worry, this isn't just some boring business jargon. It's a super powerful tool for turning those vague daydreams into real, actionable plans. So let's break this down real quick. Specific is what turns I want to learn guitar into I want to learn to play 3 specific songs on the guitar. Measurable gives you that finish line to cross. Achievable is all about keeping you grounded so you don't get discouraged. Relevant, make sure this actually matters to you. And time-bound, well, that creates just the right amount of urgency to get you going. Look at this. This slide just shows the difference so perfectly. On the left, you've got this fuzzy, vague dream. But on the right, that's a solid plan. You know the language, Python, you know the project, a simple web app, and you've got a deadline, 3 months. All of a sudden, that confusing mess becomes a clear path you can actually walk down. So you've got your map, you've got your compass. Awesome. Now you need the right tools in your backpack to actually navigate the terrain. These are the strategies that are going to make your learning stick. Okay, the first and probably most important tool is active learning. You can't just passively watch videos and hope for the best. You've got to get your hands dirty, build the thing, solve the actual problem, write the summary in your own words. Knowledge really only sticks when you use it. Next up is something called spaced repetition. You know, our brains are kind of designed to forget stuff we don't use. It's actually a feature, not a bug. This technique is how you hack that process. By revisiting info at just the right times, like after a day, then a few days, then a week, you're basically telling your brain, hey, pay attention, this is important, so store it somewhere safe for the long term. And here's a pro tip for you. The absolute best way to know if you understand something is to try and explain it to somebody else. Now, this one might sound a little backward, but it is so important. Your brain does its best work consolidating information and making new connections when you're resting. Seriously, pushing yourself into burnout is literally the fastest way to stop making progress. So take those breaks, get enough sleep. It's a non-negotiable part of the process. And remember, learning doesn't have to be this lonely, solo mission. Finding a community, whether it's an online forum, a local meetup, or even just one study buddy, it can make a world of difference. When you can share your struggles and celebrate your wins with other people, it keeps you going and makes the whole thing a lot more fun. Think about it. A good explorer is constantly checking their map, right? And they adjust their course if they're heading in the wrong direction. The exact same thing is true for learning. You have to check in with yourself and see how it's going. It's really important to ask yourself these simple but really powerful questions. Is this actually working? Am I on track? And be honest with yourself. If a YouTube channel isn't clicking for you, find a new one. If your schedule is just too crazy, adjust it. This isn't about being rigid, it's about being effective. And please, whatever you do, do not forget this part. Did you finish a chapter? Did you finally wrap your head around a tough concept? Take a second and acknowledge that. These little victories are the motivational fuel that's going to power you through the hard parts of the journey. All right, every adventurer needs a well-stocked pack, so let's talk about some of the best resources and supplies you can find out there for your learning expedition. We are just so lucky to be alive in an age where there is a ridiculous wealth of information right at our fingertips. This slide is really just a starting point.
The real secret is to mix and match all of these different things to find what works for your brain and your learning style. There is no one-size-fits-all answer here. So, the most important thing to take away from all this is that learning isn't some final destination you arrive at and then you stop. It's a lifelong journey of being curious. The key ingredients are just your commitment to get started, the flexibility to change your path when you need to, and that spirit of exploration to just keep going.
And with that, we've given you the map, the compass, and a bag full of tools. The adventure is officially yours to begin. So my only question for you is, what's your first destination?